The Joe Rogan Experience.
But it seems like, with all respect, I feel like that's what he wants to think. Do you know that he wants to think that they've always been here and they're spiritual things? And he might be right. But it is also possible that there's a life form that's so advanced that it can avoid detection anytime it wants, and then slowly trickles out little bits of information to us, whether it's a crashed vehicle or letting a vehicle be seen or hovering over Phoenix, do whatever it wants to do, and then fades away again. And then every decade or so, as human beings evolve, it introduces more and more to the landscape, which if you kind of looked at it on a graph, seems to be the case. And oddly seems to be the case that it's like primarily happening in the United States. Like if you look at the difference between the UFO sightings around the world and the UFO sightings in the United States, we're locked in. We're locked in.
I said this to you last time, I think. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. When you
yeah.
asked me what do I think of aliens, I was like, I would find it a lot more credible if it wasn't all in North America.
But also, as an American, I have to say, it's probably because we're the shit. And if I was an alien, what am I going to do? Go to Czechoslovakia? Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to go check out San Francisco. Like, look at all the shit in the streets.
Right.
Look at all the needles. These people are crazy. I think there's probably both things going on. I think there's probably some sort of extra dimensional possibility that I think occurs during psychedelic drugs and during certain states of altered consciousness, that I have a feeling you're tuning into something that's not always available, but probably is always there. And then there's probably a physical element of things coming here from somewhere else, because we do that. It just seems so duh. Like, allegedly, we went to the moon, but we definitely sent rovers to Mars. We definitely send satellites into space to take incredible imagery of Jupiter. We definitely do all that. Why would we not think that another species would do that? Especially if they get to some position where they're using some unique, novel form of propulsion that manipulates gravity, and they don't even have to worry about G-forces. They just appear places, which seems to be like what they think these things are doing. Have you heard about that? There's a story about this Chinese scientist that was working on anti-gravity, and she came from China to the United States to work on anti-gravity, and she was working on some anti-gravity propulsion system and then vanished. Like, probably went back to China.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, probably went back to China. It's like, this is what they paid me to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who vanish in China. That's the thing, isn't
But
it?
I don't think she vanished. She vanished from the United States. I think she went back to China.
Oh, what, and took the secrets with her?
I think that's the worry, is that this... See if you can find that lady's name. It's a very interesting story. I was reading about it the other day, and I remembered, like, someone... You guys are perfect to talk about this. Because that would be the ultimate thing that you'd have to keep secret from another country. Because if you have espionage, if you have people that have infiltrated your universities, and they certainly do, and if you have people who have infiltrated your military contractors, and they certainly do, we do it. I'm sure they do it.
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah.
I mean, the southern border is the fact that it's as open as it is.
Yeah.
That's a lot of them are coming through there.
Of course.
Yeah.
But if you're making something that is some sort of a gravity propulsion system, and you've made a breakthrough, you're not going to put that on Wired.com. You're not going to broadcast that on CNN. You're not going to tell anybody that. Because if the other countries find out, if the other superpowers, if China and Russia find out that we have some sort of a gravity propulsion, everyone's going to die.
Yeah.
They're going to steal all the information.
Doesn't make sense still. Disappeared.
Solving the mystery of Huntsville's brilliant anti-gravity scientist. Dr. Ning Li's son talks about her mom's career and legacy, along with the internet's obsession with her disappearance. So when did she disappear?
Let's see. She co-authored papers in '93.
Hold on right there. Stop right there.
Yep.
In the late 90s, she claimed to have created anti-gravity devices that were fully functional. And this was big news in both scientific journals and mainstream press. In 1997, Dr. Li continued to expand on her concept and conduct more experiments. She published papers describing the anomalous weight changes in objects suspected over a rotating superconductor. To say her work referred to as taming gravity could change the world is an understatement. Taming gravity would drastically change the way we transport on every level. Humans could travel the world at ease, and we could finally get our hands on those sweet hoverboards from Back to the Future. So did she really do it? So what happened to her? In 1999, Li left UAH to start her own company, AC Gravity, and commercialize a device based on her theories. Oh, you fucked up, lady. Her colleagues obviously believed in her work. As a chair of UAH's physics department, Larry Smalley also departed the university to join her. Public records show that in 2001, the U.S. Department of Defense gave AC Gravity a grant for $448,970 to research the technology. However, these results were never published. In fact, Dr. Li never published anything again.
Wow.
And even though the business license for AC Gravity was updated yearly through 2018, there's no record of any further work done by the company. Li's career after 2002 is a subject of great mystery. Barely Sociable's research turned up a document showing that she gave a presentation at the 2003 MITRE conference titled Measurability of AC Gravity Fields. The MITRE Corporation challenges federally funded research for manages federally funded research for several U.S. agencies. At the conference, she presented along with a Redstone Arsenal official from U.S. Army Aviation and Missile Command, meaning that her research was still being conducted up to that point. So where did she take off? When did she disappear?
They think she went to China.
Yeah.
This kind of goes on. This is a bunch of they're not really sure. And then in 2021, so it was 2 years ago.
Well, look at this, though.
An obituary popped up.
An obituary?
On a funeral home just outside of Birmingham where she was, where she was. And it didn't say anything about her disappearance.
An obituary.
Mm-hmm.
They say how she died.
I don't know. Check it.
Was it water torture?
They usually don't say how on an obituary. See?
Wow. There she is.
She passed away peacefully.
Yeah. Right. That's a little sus.
There's more information about how she would have conducted her life,
but if you scroll back up, what I was gonna read a little bit more, there's something about her right there, a little bit higher, confirming her well-being, that she was still working with the DoD, but was unable to talk about her work. So she's working with the Department of Defense. He also told Ventura that he was unable to get a working email address or phone number for her. Bro, they probably made a breakthrough, and that's probably what happens when you make a real breakthrough. They probably give you a very clear indication of how this is going to go from here on out. You're going to be completely isolated from the rest of the world. There's no way we can trust that you're going to tell anybody about this. We're going to have to fucking monitor everything you do, and you stop publishing, you stop doing anything.
But here's the thing. Is that the wrong approach to take? Is that the wrong approach to take when somebody has created something that could be such a monumental tool, potentially a weapon, that an enemy or somebody you perceive to be an enemy could use it against you?
I don't think it's the wrong approach to take. I mean, I think especially if you're dealing with someone who came over here from China, it's where is she going? Keep an eye on that lady. If she really cracked it, and she cracked it with, what if she's sharing? That's the thing, is some of these drones that they're seeing, and that's what I've always assumed that a lot of these things are, especially the square within a sphere that seems to be, they keep finding. She's disappeared and gone back to China, said Safardi. She was working with NASA and the Redstone Arsenal, but she disappeared for several years now. The people at the Pentagon cannot reach her anymore. She's allegedly back in China, and the Chinese are pouring money into similar experiments now. Uh-oh. That's why our intelligence guys are very interested. The most likely people to develop the first anti-gravity propulsion technology are the Chinese.
That's reassuring.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement. When someone says that publicly, go back to that. Sorry again, Jamie. The most likely people to develop the first anti-gravity propulsion technology are the Chinese. The fact that he's saying that, if you're saying that publicly, that means they're probably on it.
Yeah.
It's just a scientist, though, wasn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
But if that lady really did crack something and really was able to make things hover, God damn it.
And it was as far back as what, 93?
Mm-hmm. Well, 2004 was that big sighting, Commander David Fravor, when he found that thing that looked like a Tic Tac that was hovering over the water and disappeared at an insane rate of speed. They got video of this thing. Different fighter jets saw it. They said this thing just took off. Just no visual means of propulsion. There's no windows, no rockets, just gone. And there's video of it. There's video of this thing just moving at this insane rate of speed that would turn human bodies into jello. I think it's a drone. I think they probably had a few of those. I think they've been that's why they're always occurring around around military bases. Like San Diego's filled with military. It's all military out there. So if they're off the coast, they're near the Nimitz, right? So there's fucking all sorts of tests and training things they're running out there. That's what they do. Of course, that's where they're going to train their fucking drones too. Of course, that's where we're gonna. If you've got some crazy high tech thing and you want to see, how do the fighter jets see it? Like, you fucking don't tell them, and you put it in the ocean, and then you say, "Go fly over there," and they fly over there, and they see this fucking thing that can go from 50,000 feet above sea level to 0 in like a second. Like, what are we watching?
Man, it's so crazy, some of the stuff that human beings are coming up with. I don't know if you know this, the Russians have a tsunami torpedo. Have you heard about this?
It starts tsunamis?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
great.
It's a tsunami torpedo. Jamie, would you
So
find
fun.
it?
Bye, Malibu.
Say
bye.
It's basically a nuclear torpedo. It explodes underwater, causing a tsunami, which can wash, half the United States off the...
Half the United States?
Well, if it hits the seaboard on both sides, yeah. I mean, it will be harder for them, obviously, from the east, but from the west.
Oh, my God.
You can wash off, all of California, just like...
Well, you could do that down here, too, then. You could do it in Texas. You could do it all over the country.
Right.
All over where the water is. Russian TV news agency... Oops. God damn it. Russian news agency TSS reported that Russia had produced the first set of nuclear-powered, very long-range, nuclear-armed torpedoes known as Poseidon. Strategic experts are warning that the Poseidon torpedoes would have the potential to devastate a coastal city, causing radioactive floods and result in millions of deaths. Oh, fuck, dude.
Wow.
Look at this. Haunted...
I knew you'd
Listen
like
to
this. I knew you'd like this, Joe.
News outlets have painted a hauntingly vivid picture of a towering 1,000-foot tall radioactive tsunami. I know you wrote tabloid. I know tabloid news. But is that possible? A 1,000-foot tall radioactive tsunami violently crashing into British shores, pulverizing everything in its path and transforming the whole cities into barren, lifeless lands. Isn't the kind of power that they have now is how much more powerful are they than Fat Man and Little Boy? It's a lot, right?
Yeah. Orders of magnitude, I think.
Yeah.
The hydrogen bomb is way more powerful than the atomic bomb.
So if they have like some top of the food chain, best of what we've got today, nuclear weapon, and they detonate it into the ocean, what does that look like?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen those tests they did when they blew up atomic bombs in the ocean. You get to see like how high the water goes into the sky.
The SAR bomb. This got declassified not too long ago.
Wow.
This was a Russian bomb that they have.
Did they drop that in the water?
Is
that water?
No, they're way up in the clouds there.
Oh my God! Look at that! Isn't it kind of ironic
says it was
that the
1960.
thing that might kill us all looks like a mushroom?
But that's
The thing that might save us all, and the thing that might kill us
Mushrooms.
all. Imagine if that's what God's trying to tell us.
and that's
Like,
1961.
This is the only thing that's going to keep you from nuking each other.
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
Chow down, boys.
Imagine if God's trying to tell you that, like through the most horrific thing that human beings can do,
Yeah.
the indiscriminate murder of hundreds of thousands of people instantaneously.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to actually, basically, just before everybody gets to power, you're going to do a mushroom trip. You're going to connect to the
Yeah.
spirituality of the earth. You're going to connect with your fellow human beings. You're going to understand that we are all one, and then you're going to be allowed to do your job.
and then you're going to
be
drop
like,
out of the race.
I don't want that job.
Or you give him to Biden
Fuck
and he
this
dies.
shit. I
Yeah.
have to tell people what to think and what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
certainly some strange battle that's going on right now that I don't think most people were aware was going to ever take place.
No.
I think that's part of what the problem is. What is this?
It's the video of it.
This the 1961 SAR bomb?
Yeah. Like, means king bomb. King of all
Ugh.
bombs.
I mean,
Bro, imagine being that guy in that plane going, I am getting cancer for sure. For sure. Do they even know they're getting cancer?
Probably
Probably not.
Probably not.